Today we're finding out why cable TV refuses to die.
You don't fear death, you welcome it.
There are only a few factors keeping it alive, and they all rely on each other as the lifeblood for the cable media format. Let's get to it. I've been wondering this myself lately. Why is cable still a thing? The only two people I know who still watch cable are my father-in-law and my mom, both of which also consume other forms of content via YouTube, obviously because they love watching my videos. But seriously, how many people do you guys know that still subscribe to a cable service? Well, it's more than you might think, but the thing is there are only a few factors still feeding life into the format, and if any of them decide to pack up shop, cable would be done. Now, there are only a few reasons why people actually still subscribe to cable. Cable companies often offer a package deal: internet, landline, TV, all wrapped into one bill. Many find this both convenient and cost-effective, especially when comparing the total cost of multiple streaming subscriptions. Plus, there's a certain nostalgia with cable, guys. Older folks, like me, who grew up during the cable era tend to stick with what they know and trust. And honestly, who didn't love channel surfing back in the day?
It's too fast! How could you even tell what's on? I can tell.
You know, flipping through channels can often offer a delightful variety that's different from the set menus and, cookie cutter stuff of streaming services. And not to mention, when you add up multiple streaming subscriptions, sometimes it's not that far off from a cable bill. In some places, a solid high-speed internet infrastructure is still a luxury, making cable or satellite TV the main gateway to TV content. Many people also appreciate the perks cable brings to the table, like DVR functions and easy-to-navigate channel guides, as well as on-demand services that sometimes do actually flow better than on streaming platforms. Plus, with cable, you're not at the mercy of an internet connection. This is a godsend for certain regions, and there are more rural areas than overpopulated ones where reliable or affordable internet is just not there. And let's not forget, cable TV often holds the exclusive ticket to live sports, up-to-the-minute news, and real-time events. It's also a conduit to local channels and events that streaming might overlook or miss out on. Now, when it comes down to it, the older folks find technology overwhelming. Navigating new tech can sometimes feel like scaling a steep learning curve compared to what they've been used to for a lifetime. While I heavily rely on the internet for nearly everything I do, which is both kind of convenient and a bit terrifying, but I do come from an era when cable TV and print media were the thing, So if when shit hits the fan, I'd know how to navigate the analog world. That's not necessarily the case for newer generations brought up in an entirely digital age. They would probably have the same tough time going backwards that the older generation has with moving forwards with new tech. Now, as much as I may have made a case for why cable is still around, there are only a few factors still propping it up. And if any of these factors fail, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I've got some fresh stats on the cable versus streaming debate I think you'll find a little interesting. As of July 2022, streaming officially overtook cable. Nielsen's data shows cable at 34.4%, just a smidge below streaming's 34.8%. Fast forward to a report from just last month, and streaming has jumped to a whopping 38.7%, leaving cable trailing at 29.6%. Among streaming platforms, YouTube, Netflix, Hulu, and Amazon are leading the charge, accounting for 24.5% of all streaming. The whole point here is that because of the pandemic and other mitigating factors, along with the advancements in streaming and the overall desire for streamlined plug-and-play solutions, it has thoroughly disrupted the world of content consumption. Now, these are the key factors that are currently keeping cable breathing. First, the older folks. No surprise there. They're loyal to their news segments and timeless reruns. They're paying for it. Second is sports. Big money. It's often quite difficult to find specific local games or events on streaming platforms. Just last year, I had to join an ESPN service and got hit with more charges because I forgot to cancel it just to catch the Avs in the Stanley Cup. Lastly, this one caught me by surprise too. Most of the times I've tuned into cable recently was from a hotel room. And guess what dominates the ad space? Big Pharma. Statista notes they account for a ridiculous 75% of TV ad spend. Those familiar commercials, targeting diabetes.
You keep your diabetes under control.
Yep, they stop advertising and cable would croak immediately. Only 2 countries in the world allow Big Pharma to advertise, us and New Zealand. If a US president decides to say, hey, no more advertising for Big Pharma on cable TV, that's it. That's the end. No more cable. Here are some more fresh stats. Statista shows that from 2013 to now, households are canceling cable at an alarming rate. 100.5 million households in 2013, down to almost half of that at 60.5 million households today. And another aggressive projected loss in 2027, down to 47.8 million. We've seen these paradigm shifts before, and outdated industries constantly face them. Take newspapers, for instance. I'm genuinely surprised they're even still around.
This country is going straight to hell.
How many folks do you know sit there in the morning at the table, and read newspapers or magazines? For me, magazines are just a last resort bathroom read when my phone is completely dead or not with me. Yet, since the 90s, with the internet's rise and the fading ad revenue and evolving reader demographics, newspapers have seen a steep decline. Social media's rise was literally the final nail in the coffin for this once mighty medium. Most younger generations consume their news on Facebook or YouTube or just the internet in general. Landlines, another example. Many of today's new generation might not even know what the hell it is. Remember our beloved compact discs, right? Cassette tapes, vinyl, the classic home stereo, all these marvels have given way to newer tech. And streaming, it's bound to evolve into something even more advanced in time. There will be a day, mark my words, where adults will be running around saying, look at those old geezers over there and they're streaming in their iPhones. It's sad, guys, because I do remember the days of past and how simple and matter-of-fact things once were, But we aren't there. We're here and now. And we can't honestly expect the way things were to continue into this new digital age. It's sad indeed. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Tell me if you still have cable. Comment down below, share your opinions. If you enjoyed the video, please press the like button slowly.
Let me do the talking.
Subscribe to the channel to help me grow, and ring the bell to get notified every time a video is born. Now, I'm sure you guys saw the new name change. Michael Andrew, that's my name. So I kind of want to, give it more of a generalization because I want to cover more than just audio. I'm still going to cover audio, do not worry. But I will be releasing a final statement on why I changed it and everything that I did. So stay tuned for that. With all that said and done, friends, I will see you in the next one. Take care.